In any business, there are two kind of things I would say. One is a painkiller and second is a vitamin killer. So if there is a painkiller, then people will jump onto it, customers will jump onto it, even investors. If there is vitamin, in good to have scenario, you'll find it difficult to raise funds.
What are the top 3 challenges that you come across that founders really should be fixing these things in order to come and even pitch to any investors?
There are 2-3 problems I see. One, there's some startup I see, their focus is primarily to raise funds. So they will focus only on raising funds, create a small MVP and go in the market and try to get traction. That I feel is very important.
Being a non-tech person, how do you enter into a tech product or tech startup?
So I started, first 7 years of my career was primarily into sales actually. I understood the pulse of the market and you have to build a product, and since you are a startup founder, you have to go out in the market because you need to get your first 10 customers.
Hello everyone, welcome to my podcast. Welcome all the founders. Today we have Ritesh Anand. He has been a part of Times Group, Radio Mirchi, Monster, and has been a part of our ventures where he is helping so many startups raise funds. Welcome Ritesh. How are you doing?
I am good. Thank you very much, Usha, for having me here.
Great. And so just to tell you this specific platform, I'm trying to help all the founders understand what it takes to build from scratch, what challenges they might face, and how they can use your learnings to, solve these challenges very quickly. So this is what we are going to cover. We would love to understand from you, how was your journey when you started working, how you actually went to the phase where you started building something of your own. How's that going? And also a bit into the investment bit, where how you advise these startups on when they should be raising, about the business models they are building. So a bit on that.
Sure. So I have worked for almost 15, 16 years. So I started my journey as a sales professional. Then I got into strategy and then heading business where I was exposed to all the functions. And then I started my own venture. So starting your own venture was a tough thing. So I don't have a tech background, but still I started a tech company. So that was a huge bit of learning basically. Uh, so we have done 2, 3 pivots, and finally we have one stable product which we are running right now. But there has been certain but we have been looking for some other models to kind of get more of scale.
Mhm.
So we have come up with a new one actually. So we are working on that, and that's what we are trying to do.
Okay. And when you said being a non-tech founder, and this is something that personally I have faced also, being a non-tech person, how do you enter into a tech product or tech startup, building something of your own? A lot of non-tech people are trying to build that. So how can one actually, what are the challenges that they face and how can they be better?
So, being non-tech is actually good and bad, both basically. So if you are a techie, the plus thing which I would say from my side was that I had a lot of business exposure. So I understand the pulse of the market actually. So that was the best thing.
Hmm.
If you're a techie, then you don't understand the pulse of the market. You understand just the technology. So you build something. When you go in the market, you'll think that okay, it's a completely different thing because the market is not accepting. So
Right.
for me, that thing was slightly better, and I had a bit of exposure as far as getting the technology driven in my working experience, whether at Times Group, even in one earlier organization, I was actually a part of a part of the sales, driving sales in a tech environment actually. I understood the pulse of the market, and then technology bit, uh, we try to learn by the day actually. So I didn't get into pure tech, but yes, product part was taken care by me. So I was focusing more on driving the product, the kind of features, the kind of use cases which will go for the market. So those things I was focusing.
Hmm.
Tech piece, yeah, since you don't understand the coding and all, so I have to trust the person or my counterpart or my colleague who is work on the technology part actually. So
Hmm.
So I would say in a way it is good as well as bad, but good because you come up with a product where there is a bit of acceptance for the product actually. That's what I feel.
Right. And I feel you said it right? Partnering with folks who know how to code or they are good at the tech part of it so that they fill the gap that we don't have right now. And
Right,
I think with AI, it has become right now much easier for non-tech people to actually think about building something and to learn something very quick, to execute it really fast with the kind of tools we have right now. What do you think?
right. Yeah, so AI has kind of made your life simpler, but still, because you have to build the product, and since you are a startup founder, you have to go out in the market because you need to get your first 10 customers.
Yeah.
So my thing was that coding bit, I didn't try to get into at all basically, because how many things will you do? You will work on the product, you'll go to the market, and the other things also little bit operational and admin kind of issues basically.
Yeah.
So tech, I completely left the coding part. The product was completely my thing.
Right.
And then AI and all helped me build uh, more insights into the kind of things which can go in the product, which can help make my product better, things like those. So that's what I would say. I have not gone too much deep into the tech, but yes, I completely have learned how to build the product and how to get that product built through a tech team actually.
Right. And how does, because you have worked with such bigger brands, how does that experience helped you in when you started building Fair Pockets, which is your own startup?
Right. So I think it was quite helpful because I had a conscious decision that I wanted to switch functions. So I started first 7 years of my career was primarily into sales actually, where I was meeting customers, even driving sales team in various parts of the country actually. So things like those. Uh, I did my MBA in 2008 and came back. And then I moved my function from sales to kind of strategy, where it gives me a top perspective of the company, how it is to be run, a bit exposure into financial budgeting and other parts of the things, and also how the business can be driven from. Because when you are in sales, you don't understand too much what's happening in the product and other parts. So there, I got exposed to that also. So that gave me a bigger view. And then I was heading business myself. So when I got into that, then probably the tech product, everybody was reporting to me. So then it was sales and everything basically. So then it was completely running your own business types. So it was very useful. But at the end of the day, uh, when you enter your startup, still it's very different because you have big company means big support as well, which you don't have. So in case you have any doubt, you can go to your seniors, you can go to others and discuss and things like that. But
Yeah.
here, since you are a bootstrap startup, you can't hire very senior professionals, and so there is scope of interaction with the team on business model and other aspects is limited because these would be young guys because you're so things like that. So those things I would say, both plus and minus, I would say.
Understood. Uh, and with coming to our ventures where you keep interacting with startups and you're also in investment committees. So, how do you actually, when you're talking to the startups, what are the top three challenges that you come across that founders really should be fixing these things in order to come and even pitch to any investors?
Uh, Look, personally, I feel that one thing for most of the startup, from the investment point of view, I would not say uh, from a general business building point of view. There are two, three problems I see. One, there's some startup I see their focus is primarily to raise funds. So they will focus only on raising funds.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, raising fund obviously can give momentum to your business and it will give you top line growth, but your bottom line will also grow up. But you may not have the product market fit. Because at the end of the day, you need to have that PMF, product market fit, to kind of scale. That's why you see a lot of startup, even after raising a couple of rounds, they don't kind of go ahead because their focus is primarily to raise funds and go ahead. So that is one challenge.
Okay.
Second, I think there are a lot of time startups take time to pivot. So in case they are invested in certain idea, they'll feel that they'll have to keep going in that idea itself. Because, you know, sometimes there's a saying, good is an evil of greatness. So they may be doing good, but it is not going to take them to that bigger heights actually. So that bit, and because of that, they're stuck in that idea for a pretty long period, and then they realize that that problem I also had, I would say, to some extent. So these are the two problems, and I think at the end of the day is, if you have traction, if you can focus on traction, like create a small MVP and go in the market and try to get traction, that I feel is very important. Because once you have the uh, numbers with you, then all the investors will come, because they know once the numbers go up, your valuation will go up, and then they will have option to exit and things like that actually. So these
That's
are three, four things I would say.
because I feel a lot of startups are, just are told to just run for the valuation so that they can raise a higher amount at lesser valuation, but they do not understand the concept behind why the valuation should be this and why not this.
Correct, correct. That is there. I agree.
What are the investors? Because you are also someone who keeps on, who is on the investor side of things as well. So, what do you feel are something that investors directly look at that these startup founders should have when they are talking to them?
Okay, so from an investor point of view, I think most of them are looking for traction, because at the end of the day, uh, judging a management team through one call,
Yeah.
judging a product through one call of half an hour, it's not that easy. Matlab, your judgment could be like as good as 15-20% of accuracy. It can't be more than that actually.
Yeah.
So once the number is there and numbers are growing, then you are assured that okay, chalo, like this is something which is pretty okay. So I think that is one thing, and obviously pedigree of the management team, so that there is some assurance that okay, these guys have done good things in the past, so there could be a trend which can uh, be on a similar lines. Uh, so those things, and sometimes the business model itself, because everybody, because most of the investors are from different walks of life. They may be running their own company. They are even at job at some of them, but so they have their own experiences, and based on that, they judge on the business model. If somebody finds it very very relatable, they will invest. For example, I know of one investor. He is very comfortable in small SaaS products, basically. So he has been running and he had scaled. So he is always looking for those. He will always tell me if you know anybody. So he's look, because he knows that in case things go wrong, he can try to work, but he wants to get inside too much of a business as well. So, but yeah, so that's what I feel. Relatability is also a factor, basically.
Understood. So basically, investors who have been putting money, or maybe they are from the same sector, they would be able to understand.
That more, and they can take better decision, and they will trust their decision more while investing in those kind of startups.
Correct. And like coming to your present journey, what you are building right now, uh, do you want to share more about, the challenges, like how you got the idea when you started building and where you are at?
So, so currently I have one product by the name Fair Pockets, which we have been running for the past 5-6 years. This is a real estate software kind of product. So my original idea was a platform wherein builder and broker can interact, and there could be because uh, when any builder launches a new product, then it goes through the broker to the end customer. most of the time the end customer may get some wrong information and things like that. So we created one app wherein it's a B2B2C kind of thing. So that was my original product. We did manage to sell some of those, but unfortunately, the demand for those kind of product was not too much. So we converted into more of a CRM kind of product, which we have been selling. So that is more of a set product. There is not too much of an involvement which I have because the product is kind of ready. We have set customers and we keep adding customers as in on a regular basis. So that is one thing. Last year, we started another venture by the name Podium Nest. Now, Podium Nest is more into real estate transaction, but this is a different kind of transaction. So here, it's more of a resale kind of thing. So what I understand from a real estate perspective is that selling is one of the biggest challenge any person has when it comes to real estate. Buying, you have money in your pocket, and there would be hundred of people chasing you to buy any product. But when it comes to selling, everybody will just take a note. Okay, I'll come back to you and things like that. So selling. So we are trying to solve that problem of selling the property for individuals, and it could be across the country. So we are building a broker network. So we already have 10, 12,000 broker network across the country. And we are actually getting a lot of inventories from multiple people in metros and even non-metros. And we are leveraging a lot of broker network to sell these kind of inventories. So, and we are working on a tech platform. So most like 60, 70% of our web platform is built. Probably Jan Feb will start our mobile app and things. So this is what we are looking at. So it's more like a transaction where we are helping people sell the property at the quickest possible time and best possible price point. That's the problem area which we are working on.
Understood. And what are certain challenges, for example, when you talk about having a right technology partner with you? So do you already have it, or how do you usually?
We have our own in-house team actually. So since we have the SaaS product also, so we have a team who works on tech. Uh, like 50, 60% is kind of in-house, and then there are some outsourced members. But yeah, we have part of the team who is working with us on a regular basis. So they sit with us, and that's what we are working.
Understood. And for someone, and this is one of the issues that I usually come across when I talk to founders, single founders, they find it very difficult to find another co-founder uh, with the same sort of the zeal to build the same product. So, what do you suggest for such people?
So for me, my wife has been part of most of the journey actually, though she has not been very active due to some reason or other for the past 2, 3 years. But I would say, look, both are okay. As in, you can be a single founder, you can be a co-founder. So both are okay. It depends from person to person. Somehow, I am pretty comfortable doing things on my own actually, because I generally do things my way. So I have my team. We have a team who takes care of technology part, and then I have been doing things my way. So co-founder could have been better, but yeah, most of the time, what happens that uh, you don't know how, there is a lot of uncertainty. So even if you get a co-founder and if it is taking say 2, 3 years, people will want to. I know a lot of people who have started their career switching from corporate to a startup journey, and after 2, 3 years they have gone back to a corporate career actually. So what happens that not everybody is willing to spend that much time, even because it requires a lot of perseverance. You may have to pivot the model and things like that.
Yeah.
So initially, we had kind of one co-founder with us for a year or two, but I think there were some financial issues at his end, so he has to go back. So I'm pretty okay doing now. I'm pretty used to doing things my way, so it's okay with me actually. But yeah, it depends. It's very person specific. I'm pretty much Anybody can decide whatever best suits for them.
Understood. And right now with Fair Pockets and Podium Next, what is your vision like with the product or overall for the next 3 years, let's say?
So Fair Pockets somehow is there, but I feel that the market size for this product is small right now. So we are so Fair Pockets is there. It's a going kind of concern. The product is kind of ready. Uh, so we are our main focus area is Podium Nest right now. So Podium Nest in the next 3 4 years we see as uh, a one of the largest organization in the country who helps individuals sell the property. So there is nothing which is doing something like this. So you have property portals like Magic Bricks and Naukri, which where you can post the property and you'll get leads. But then you'll have to speak to the leads. Most of the leads are junk. If you have a property over 2 CR, you won't get leads actually because most of them may not give you that kind of lead. So you are kind of stuck. The other option which you have is to go to a local broker and they will try to pull you down in terms of your prices because there are a lot of investors and financiers which are floating.
Mm.
So we are trying to create a one-point shop wherein we help anybody sell the property
Yeah.
uh, by taking exclusive mandate. And I feel there is a massive scope for something like this. And there is no clear product which I feel is available right now for a space like this. So that's what I'm working on.
So is it correct that you want to be next Magic Brick, but obviously a much better version with much clearer focus and more data points there?
No, no, no. Magic Bricks is a listing site. It's an advertising portal. So you advertise, you get leads. They work on lead generation aspect. So they will charge you. Ours is we are doing end to end. So we may use Magic Bricks and other property portals. We may use other things also, but so uh, we are working on a different platform actually. So advertising is just one part. That is, advertising will not help any individual get to their end result, which is ultimately to sell the property. So that's what it is actually.
Understood. And I think because the real estate market is so scattered and not structured at all. So I think that would be a really good to have something which
I hope so. I hope so.
can have end to end.
Yeah, I hope so. And I have been doing a lot of real estate investments myself personally. I have a strong interest in real estate. Even when I was working, I've been doing investments in Delhi, Bombay, and other places, residential, commercial, joint venture with developers. So there are a lot of things which I have been doing, which normally a corporate professional may not like to get into, basically. So there has been interest in real estate. So we are trying to come up with something wherein uh, some selling problem of individuals can be solved from this industry, actually.
And to ask you, what are the things to take you from right now where you are to, let's say, your first 5 or 10 CR? What are the things that can really help you speed up, be it funds or maybe such resources, specific resources? What are those things?
Uh, I think it will take some time because, at the end of the day, uh, this is a slightly new journey for us. And uh, uh, so maybe a year, year and a half. Look, there's something which happens through progression. So funds and all we are not looking at actually because so those things are pretty okay. But yeah, with time, I think we'll quickly come up there. And uh, the market also is slightly kind of down right now. But overall, I would say that because real estate is slightly cyclical. In case you get into a good market, then like things move very fast. In case you get into a slightly bad market, then it is kind of slow. But things move all the time. So I think It is just a matter of time we'll reach there. Not too much, about 12 months or so, I would say.
Okay. And really all the best for that.
Thank
Um, right now with real estate, I mean, for a people like me who are, uh, I mean, we keep thinking that we want to invest in real estate. How does the market look like? And is this a good time to actually invest in there?
So, investment wise, I don't think it's a very good time right now because things have escalated almost 2x, 2.5x in the last 3 years, actually. So, things are at a very high right now.
Mm.
Uh, so, in places like Gurgaon, there has been some tapering off in terms of prices have been coming down a bit, but it has shot up so much that even if it comes down a little bit, it is not going to help because even a normal three-bedroom is not less than 2.5, 3 CR actually. So, so, so I would say investment, not right now. Yeah, in case somebody wants to stay, then you can look at option because then in case you want to stay, but investment right now, I would not kind of suggest.
I mean, is there any better time? Like, since you said it's a cycle, so is there that cycle ending, or how do we look at
No,
future?
I think it will remain at least a year or two like this, basically. Uh, Only thing what can be looked at, the kind of property you can look at. You can look at slightly distant area. Uh, so things like that can be chosen. You can look at a different city, for example, different type of unit. So
Mm.
those things you will still find it property to invest. But regular investment, if you go any high rises and all in NCR or Bombay, things like that. So that I feel right now is a bit challenging. So a year, maybe a year down the line, probably.
Okay. I mean, thank you so much. And it comes from an expert and a person who is working in the field. It gives us a lot of information. So thank you so much for that. So we also come across a lot of startups who are building in uh, very traditional sectors like real estate and these places, but they understand. Like recently, I spoke to one founder who is building in real estate. He's building something on the lines of an aggregator who can bring all these people together, but he's looking at right now investors are not very keen on real estate or such traditional businesses. So
Right.
people who are building in with such traditional ideas which are not very new to everyone, do you have any suggestions for them how they can raise or how they should be building ahead?
So for for traditional businesses, I think there are opportunities because things have been going in certain way for a very long period of time. So there are opportunities wherein you can do some changes. I remember about uh, 15, 20 years back when there was only newspaper through which you can advertise. At that point in time, Magic Breaks and 99 Acres, they entered the market. And that was kind of game changer. Now people behavior has completely shifted from print to say online. So
Right.
that has been one change. But after that, there has not been too much of difference, and things have been going the same way. Uh, People have tried to come up with some online transaction in real estate, but real estate is so big, as in people would like to see, feel before they make those kind of decisions. So it actually depends on your business model. There are certain business models which have been coming up recently, wherein they buy property from individuals and then they sell it at a higher price. So that is one model which has come up, which is kind of giving investors have been putting money. So, so for traditional businesses, are you doing good enough disruption that investors are excited enough to invest? There are a lot of people I have met who they come up with some 3D AI based imaging and all those things. So those things are fine, but in any business, there are two kind of things I would say. One is a painkiller, and second is a vitamin. So weather is actually a painkiller. So if there is a painkiller, then people will jump onto it, customers will jump onto it, even investors. If there is vitamin, okay, this is fine, good to have type of thing, basically. So if in good to have scenario, uh, you'll find it difficult to raise funds actually. So that's what I feel. So how compelling is your business proposition? And people will invest. I would say in real estate also people have been investing, but depends on the how good your business proposition is actually.
Understood. Understood. Um, so that concludes the whole podcast. And thank you so much, Ritesh, for your time. And thank you for answering few questions usually that founders have. We have got great insights, and we now know a lot about your journey. All the best for the Podium Nest and Fair Pockets. Uh,
Thank you.
yeah, this has been great.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Usha, for this actually.